Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, John Roberts Company and Sarah. We certainly appreciate this opportunity to come together this morning to talk about the mail moment, as Deb talked about. Obviously, the last 5 months in everybody's lives have been extremely disrupted, different, uncertain. But the one thing that has maintained some level of consistency is the mail. You know, there's maybe not the volume of it, maybe, less marketing of it. But as Deb says, she looks forward to going to her mailbox every day. And what we're going to talk about this morning, and before I do that, I am Christine Erna, president of Strategic Postal Advisors. I've been in this crazy industry all of my adult career and have had many opportunities within different businesses to learn and elevate to the point that I'm able to present and speak on these topics. And it's one of the things that I love to do in my business. So this morning, we're going to talk about informed delivery. It is a companion program available not only as a consumer that you can sign up with the Postal Service to receive an email message every morning of what's going to be in your mailbox. There are now digital capacities to link physical mail with the digital world and utilizing informed delivery to advance notify your recipients that there's something coming in their mailbox. And it goes even a little bit further where you can put a link so that they can click on that link and bring them to a website where you can engage with that customer about the direct mail piece that they're going to receive and offer them a variety of different opportunities, whether it's marketing, surveys, or whatever the case may be for your business. So today we're going to talk about how informed delivery works, the nuts and bolts of it, successful actions when launching direct mail with informed delivery, leveraging informed delivery for increased campaign engagement. And when the lovely Erica starts her portion of the presentation, she has some phenomenal statistics to share with you about campaigns and the success of those campaigns that will be really exciting for you and your customers. The postage promotions for informed delivery, excuse me, I'm froggy this morning. Do it yourself versus outsourcing, the pros and cons. And I will say that Erica and Direct Mail 2.0, just to give you perspective, and I know that she will say this, but Direct Mail 2.0 is the largest user in the country of informed delivery for marketing campaigns. So if you have any desire to launch your own campaigns, make sure you're listening to Erica, because her company has just been phenomenal with that. So you can move on to the next slide, Erica. So what is informed delivery? As we mentioned, everybody gets mail in their mailbox. Deb loves her mail in her mailbox. And you have informed delivery now, correct, Deb? So she looks on her email or on her phone and she's going to see what's in her in her inbox every day. It is a consumer-facing feature that provides users with an opportunity to digitally preview their household mail and manage packages for arriving soon. There's sometimes that I receive an informed delivery where I don't have any mail that day, but it indicates that I have a package arriving soon. So it's telling me that I have a delivery within the next day or two, which is really cool. So for business, I'm sorry, did I move that? Thank you. Integrate and make it interactive for your recipients. And you can see the image on the screen here. You can see the color image of the mail piece. And we'll be looking at more of those. But those color images indicate that this is an informed delivery campaign that the sender signed up for and replace their black and white image, which you would normally see, or a monochrome image, with color. And with that color, it also provides the link for you to click on and start that digital engagement before you receive the physical mail piece. Now you can move on, Erica. So you're merging physical and digital channels. Increase your brand and product awareness by integrating physical and digital marketing channels. Deb has said this for the last 6 months. All printers and marketing service providers can offer digital marketing with an informed delivery platform. It is a phenomenal way, if you've not dipped your toes into this world as a printer, to easily offer this campaign option to your customers. So the physical mail piece turns into an image on an email, and then it can be opened up in a dashboard on the U.S. Postal Service's Informed Delivery dashboard website. And you can see all your mail there and manage your package delivery. Next slide. So key elements of the informed delivery, as I mentioned before, you can quickly determine, looking at your inbox, at your informed delivery email, whether it's a not interactive campaign or if it's an interactive, merely by looking whether it's a monochrome image or a color image. So when you see those color images, and they're pretty distinctive, sometimes it may be just a representation of the actual mail piece versus a picture of the actual mail piece. But when you when you plan a campaign to do this, you have to have a URL behind that image, and it has to take the user to an experience for that digital engagement. Next slide. I'll stop there for just a second, Deb and Sarah, see if there's any burning questions, or is everyone getting this, or
there was one, I just want to, I'll reiterate that when those color images come through, it is, I mean, like a firework going off in your email. It is so distinctive because the regular images are grayed back. So it really, really stands out. The only question was that after the initial planning of informed delivery, there is no delay in the process of the time that it would take for a mail to go through with this, correct? Okay,
no,
so
after
that
you get the approval process, and there is an approval process to go through, which we will be talking about coming up.
and then, go ahead. So you're going to talk about it coming up a little further, you said?
Yes, on the approval process, and then launch your campaign.
Okay, and then the other
only
question,
thing I would like to interject is that I don't want our audience to get intimidated with the upfront work. You know, really partnering with John Roberts and HM Graphics, that's what we're here for, and we'll do a lot of that heavy lifting for you. We got another question that came in asking if consumers need to sign up for the service. Yes, they do. In order to see it, they need to register and set up an account with the Postal Service, but it's free. It's absolutely free. And the numbers are increasing week over week. I don't know, Christine, if you know the numbers off the top of your head.
That's what Eric is going to share with us, and she has them at a daily basis on those numbers. So, and they grow phenomenally every week. So,
yeah.
And thank you for that, Sarah. And yes.
Sarah, that's a great point too. This is not a scary thing at all. You just work with somebody. It's very simple to set up. It's very simple to sign up for if I did it. So but that's actually a great point. Don't be intimidated by any of this. It's not that difficult. It just, you know, it's something new, which may seem intimidating, but it's really not. It's like after you set up an email, you're like, oh, I get how this works now.
Yeah.
So thank you for that and the feedback. So in order to create an informed delivery campaign, you need to be able to have already registered with the Postal Service, your business, and it's accessible through the Business Customer Gateway. So once you get into your Business Customer Gateway, from the main menu, you're going to select the Informed Delivery Campaign portal. And once you select that, this is the screen that you will get at to be able to create your campaign. There is an option right below the create a campaign for pre-campaign analysis of your mailing list, which is a wonderful feature that I recommend everybody take advantage of, because it will standardize and format and let you know the addresses that may not be delivered. So once you get here, you're going to make sure that you've pre-planned your campaign. You're going to need a JPEG image of your mail piece to upload into the campaign. You're going to need the URL available to go along with that image. And Erica, next slide. So this is the run of the pre-campaign analysis. You're going to upload your mailing list. This was my example of sample data campaign. And then it runs in the background processing to make sure that every record gets 11 digits with the zip code. As we know, 5 digits, the +4 code, and then 2 numbers from the delivery point. Those are required for obviously mailing. And just want to reiterate from Sarah that John Roberts does all of this for their customers. So work directly with your account executive at the John Roberts Company, and they can work with you to upload all of your information for these campaigns. Next slide, Erica. So once you go through the pre-campaign analysis of your data, you're now building the details of what your campaign description is. So brand display name is Strategic Postal Advisors. The campaign title is SPAR Marketing 2020. The campaign code is whatever you want. When is the campaign start and end date? And then you will have to put in your mailer ID, and your mailer ID could be yours or your customers. And then you need to put in what the intelligent mail barcode serial number range is of those informed delivery pieces. That is a way that they use to be able to track back and provide the data back to you of your campaign results. And then what is the mail piece shape? This happens to be a letter. It could be a postcard. It could be a self-mailer. It could be a flat. And I will say from a scan perspective, because informed delivery is a result of the Postal Service scanning the face of the mail piece, capturing that image, and then posting it to the registered user for that particular address. They are not at 100% on either letter size mail or flat size mail, but the letter size mail has a much higher percentage of scan rate in the 90s, whereas flats are in the high 70s, low 80s. So if you're doing a flat campaign, you have to understand from the get-go that not all flats are scanned where images would be posted to a person's informed delivery email portal. So we can move on to the next slide, Erica. So this is where you're going to upload the image of your particular mailing so that the Postal Service can replace the black and white image that they would normally scan, or the monochrome, and replace it with your color image. You can make a representative image where it doesn't necessarily be the actual mail piece. It could just be a logo of your company with a URL behind it. Or you can actually upload the physical mail piece and then the ride-along URL. And when they click on that URL, it has to take them to a website for an interaction, whether it's an offer for printing services or marketing services, or a sale on, sporting equipment, or whatever your business you're in, services, retail. There's an opportunity for everyone to utilize informed delivery marketing campaign and engage with your customers digitally and physically. Next slide, Erica. So once you get your image uploaded, you've previewed your campaign data. This is a campaign preview of the image that will be posted to the person's inbox. And we can move on to the next slide, Erica. Your campaign is ready to submit. Once I click submit and send that, the Postal Service now has my campaign details with all of that description information, when I'm mailing it, my serial numbers, my campaign image that they will now replace when that mail piece is in the mail. Instead of that monochrome image coming to my email inbox, it is going to be an image of that actual mail piece with that URL to take the customer to my website and engage in a marketing opportunity. So we can go on to the next slide. So as we talked about, the John Roberts Company has this PDF document and has all of their client service representatives and their programmers that understand all of the details associated with building a campaign and utilizing that portal for creating those campaigns. This is the user's guide that is available to anybody, but I would strongly recommend just reaching out to the John Roberts Company because they know it and they can easily support you in doing your campaign. Next slide. So once your campaign is launched, so this is a calculator within the portal that allows you to increase your mailing by making sure that you have the ability to reach all of your customers. So the mail volume that you sent, the mail spend, and by utilizing an informed delivery campaign, it allows you to reach 13% more. It allows you 39% more attention to that mail piece, 37% more response to that mail piece, and 20% more conversations because of adding an informed delivery campaign that increases engagement with your customer. You are now officially digital marketing with your physical marketing. Next slide, Erica. So there is also access on the Postal Service's website for informed delivery, how to create and submit your campaign. There's a lot of different supportive documentation. And as I mentioned, John Roberts has all this information. They've digested all this information, so you can just contact your service representative to launch your campaign. Next slide.
And not for nothing, but Sarah just posted in the chat that they do all of this for free for their clients. They do all the setup for.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so
great
bonus.
job, John Roberts.
So I just want to make sure that, you know, we're not getting into the minutia of how, and we move on to the added value, and then be mindful of the time for Erica.
Excellent, thank you. So gain access to valuable campaign data. This information will be on the campaign portal where you're going to see open rates as well as click-through rates for your campaign. Next slide, Erica. So interactive campaign process is simple. You plan your campaign, you prepare your mailing, you provide mailing details through the portal or John Roberts will, you induct your mailing, and you analyze the data at the end of the campaign. Next slide. There is a promotion offered by the Postal Service for informed delivery, which means that you can save 2% off your outbound mailing postage costs up front by having an interactive informed delivery campaign in your mailing. And that promotion, you can go on to the next slide. So on the Postal Pro website is the information of this informed delivery promotion by the Postal Service. Registration started a month ago on July 15, and registration goes through November 30th. The actual promotion period starts September 1st, which, as we know, is not that far away. That's scary, but you do have time to plan because it doesn't go into effect till September 1st, but it goes through November 30th. So that's 3 full months of any marketing campaigns that you do with informed delivery promotion. You will receive a 2% discount off of your mailing. Next slide. So the promotion description, which I just talked about, the periods and the postage discounts. Next slide. Eligibility. It is eligible for first-class mail as well as marketing mail and nonprofit mail. Ineligible mail is anything that is non-automated, saturation, DDU mailings, carrier route mailings, every door direct mailings, detached address, business to business or business to institution campus mailings. That's because informed delivery is a consumer service only at the moment, though the Postal Service is currently piloting business to business informed delivery. So stay tuned for that. And package campaigns are not eligible for this campaign. Next slide, Erica. Ride-along information. As I mentioned, instead of actually uploading your image, you can put a representative image in your campaign, but this is an example of both, and you have the option of one or the other or both. And there are some great frequently asked questions in the campaign portal, as well as what to avoid, and a lot of success and trials and errors of previous people of what not to do. So next slide.
Christine, I'm just going to give you a 3-minute warning here.
Thank you, Deb, appreciate it. There are some clarifying language for the 2020 promotions, authorization for ride-along images with a strong call to action are required for all informed delivery campaign. So you can't just put an image and a URL up and bring you to a website with no interaction, no call to action. It has to be a very strong call to action. All of the campaigns are approved by the Postal Service. And if you do not have a strong call to action, they will not approve the campaign until they believe you do have a strong call to action. Next slide.
Quick question. Can you use a mail permit with Indicia with this type of mail? Or is it?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
You can use any type of postage payment, whether it's metered mail, Indicia or permit imprint, as well as pre-canceled stamps. So this is clarifying language for authorization of the representative images. So those images are required for informed delivery campaigns on flat size mail pieces, but are optional for letter size mail pieces. And this is because, as I just mentioned, with the flat scanning, not all flat size mail pieces are scanned. So they will post the representative image of the flat size mail pieces. Next slide. The response rates for informed delivery campaigns are just phenomenal. And my esteemed colleague, Erica, will be talking about some of the recent informed delivery response rates. And you can move on to the next slide. And that was my portion of today's session. I hope you enjoyed it. And the only takeaway is, don't be intimidated. It is really not difficult, but you guys have an amazing resource in John Roberts offering this service free to all of their customers. So thank you, John Roberts. And Erica, you take it away.
Before I'm going to just interject for a second. Usually, when we speak about this, we always present the option that, if people want to go and look and see if they can, navigate it themselves, the post office always has all that information. But in this case, John Roberts does it for free. This is a no-brainer. Like, if you're already doing it, I think I'm going to actually send some stuff through you to utilize that. But without further ado, this informed delivery, as Christine mentioned, I'm describing it as digital marketing light. people moving forward, companies, brands, corporations, businesses, even the butcher on the street. I believe Corona has created a situation where people need data for decisions. Every dollar that they spend money on, think about yourself. Do I really need this? If I get this, what does that mean I can have? And it's the same thing with marketing now, even stronger. So being able to show somebody, look at how many people saw that your mail was coming, look how many people clicked on your website, or this ride along image provides information for them to come back and do it again. For you to show, if you're print customers out there from agencies with other customers, to show your brands and your clients, look, we invested in this program for you and it's working, and let's do more. This is not about doing less. This is about showing people that this works and you can do more. Now, with that being said, digital technology light is not what Erica Switzer deals in. She is now going to describe how to take your mail campaigns to another level. Erica.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Deb and Sarah and the John Roberts Company. Thank you so much for having me today. Really, really pleased to be here and to educate you on some amazing statistics when it comes to informed delivery. My name is Erica Switzer. I'm the Vice President of Direct Mail 2.0, and you should listen to me on informed delivery because I talk about this a lot and I work with it every single day. So if there's any sort of an expert, and it's really interesting, sometimes we have postal workers on our webinars and they're like, I didn't know that, because it's a very large organization and not all of the information trickles down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So you can do informed delivery yourself. Absolutely, you can. Or you can outsource it. And with such an incredible offer on the table of having it done for free, I don't know why you wouldn't. I definitely think that every single piece of mail that is sent out should have informed delivery attached to it. There is no reason why it shouldn't, especially if you don't have a cost associated with it. So over the past 3 to 5 years, when trade shows and conferences were a thing, the conversation or the topic was, we need to integrate, right? We need to integrate our marketing, but what does that actually mean? Okay, what does it mean to integrate your marketing? Because there's so many marketing channels out there, and so many businesses utilize several different marketing channels to promote to their clients and their prospects. Well, what I'm going to talk about today is the omni-channel marketing approach, and specifically informed delivery being a part of that omni-channel marketing approach. So the biggest difference between multi-channel marketing and omni-channel marketing is that multi-channel marketing is using all of these different marketing channels, but you're changing your message, or you're changing your offer, and you're slightly even changing your audience. You're not necessarily going after the same exact people with each marketing channel. Now with omni-channel, you're taking the exact same audience and delivering the exact same message through multiple channels. That's making it so that your business is seemingly everywhere to that audience or those individuals, okay? And now, because of informed delivery, mail gets a double impression, right? The physical mail piece and then the digital impression from informed delivery. It also makes it so that people can click to go straight through to your website. And let's be honest, consumer behavior, people are not necessarily going to type in a URL, abccompany.com/offer. Think about yourself. When's the last time that you actually did that? The offer has to be pretty strong for you to go up to your browser and do that. Most of the times people are just going to go up to their browser, type in the name of the company and click enter, and they're going to make it to the home page. So therefore, you're not able to track the effectiveness of your mail as well, because you're just getting the tip of the iceberg when you use landing pages and QR codes. But with informed delivery, you're giving them an opportunity to click so they don't have to do anything else, and that will take them directly to the page that you want them to go to, and it's trackable. So let's talk about some statistics when it comes to informed delivery. Actually, most recent update, and this just goes to show how fast informed delivery is growing. They just passed 29 million registered users as of 2 days ago, which is absolutely phenomenal. The interesting thing about the COVID, because I like to tie it back to what are the statistics today, right? We are living in a different time than pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, there were about 200,000 people a week signing up for informed delivery. During COVID, that has exponentially increased to 348,000 people a week. New registrations. That is an insane jump in just a short period of time. And just so you guys know, at the end of December, we were just about 19 million people signed up for informed delivery. So it's exponentially increasing. One of the biggest things or reasons why this is happening is because the USPS started opting people in automatically when they go online to do the national change of address. So if you moved and you're updating your address, you are automatically opted into informed delivery. And you would need to opt out of it, which most people don't. They're like, what is this? And just so you know, over the entire number of campaigns that were run, and these were campaigns completed, these are statistics as of June 5th. So as I said, they've updated these a little bit and they're coming out with their formal report in the next couple of days. But the average open rate on informed delivery is 67.9%. That's an amazing open rate. Average email open rates are 15 to 22%. So this is getting a lot of traction. So what does this look like nationally? 16.1% of households are signed up with informed delivery. So as Christine mentioned, you can go in and do a pre-analysis on your list, or the John Roberts company can do that for you, upload your list and see how many of your addresses, but you can pretty much bank that it's going to be between 16 and 20% of your list is going to be signed up with informed delivery. So not everyone yet, but because of the traction that you can get on this product, it is well worth it. So well worth it. And here, just to give you an example, and again, we can send these numbers out, Sarah, if you want to send them out to the audience. If you guys want to see where your region or how your region is doing as far as signups or saturation rate with informed delivery, you can see the Pacific region has 20.22% saturation, whereas when you look at the Eastern region, it's 13.99%. So it fluctuates with your region, but the point is that the people that are signed up for it are engaging, are interacting, and are opening their informed delivery. So now I'm going to talk about the benefits of the different ways that you can launch an informed delivery interactive campaign. And just so you know, the post office launched their beta test with informed delivery in 2014, and it initially launched in the 5 boroughs of New York and in the Washington, D.C. area and Virginia. Okay, so, and then it spread out and started to add Maryland, Baltimore, so on and so forth. Okay, so people, when it first launched, interactive campaigns were not a thing. It was literally just an email where it was a grayscale image of your mail piece that was coming to the mailbox. That was it. Okay. And then as they got people to sign up, then they were like, hey, guess what? Introducing informed delivery interactive campaigns. Let's see if we can get people to click on URLs and go through to your website. So that's why the call to action on the ride along image is so important. And with that omni-channel marketing approach, what you want to do is reiterate exactly what the call to action is on the direct mail piece, and then drive them to a page within the website that continues that communication on that specific offer. There is nothing more frustrating than clicking on a digital ad with something that you're interested in and being directed to the homepage of the company, and you're like, well, where do I find this? This is what I was interested in. Don't make people think. Take them exactly where they need to go with a continued communication. What you don't want to do is be vague. You don't want to do any sort of plain text or logo only or image only. This is something where you're trying to evoke action. So utilize that. You can do a representative image, which means you're replacing the grayscale image with a full color image, as Christine went over. The only time that we recommend that you do this, and again, this is Direct Mail 2.0 recommendation, and I'll go into why in a few minutes, is when you are mailing a flat or when you are actually replacing the grayscale image of the mail piece with a full color mail piece with the addressing box and maybe a fake address in there or what have you, okay? Those are the only times that we say use a representative image. Try to avoid just replacing it with a generic image that doesn't look like a mail piece, and here's why. Again, when people first signed up, all the way over to the left, what you're seeing is what people expect. Okay, when they first signed up, it was all just grayscale images of their mail piece, and they're like, wow, this is really cool. I can check my mail digitally, and it looks like the mail that's coming to my mailbox. Awesome. And then when you do a ride-along image, you still get that recognizable grayscale image of the direct mail piece, but then you have the full color ride-along image that really pops out. And one of the things that this does as well is no matter where your mail is in the stack of mail that's being delivered to that individual, having an interactive campaign puts your campaign at the top of the email. So if you're third in the stack, you're still going to appear at the top of the email. So when you use a representative image, which is all the way over to the right, this looks like an ad, doesn't it? It doesn't look like mail. It doesn't look like a mail piece. So people are like, oh great, the post office is making money off of people advertising in my informed delivery. Let me scroll down because I want to see my mail. Okay. And that's the kind of consumer behavior that we have been tracking internally with Direct Mail 2.0. So just so you know, overall, and this is internal statistics from what Direct Mail 2.0 has run. When you do a informed delivery campaign with a grayscale image and a ride along, the average click-through rate to that URL hovers between 7 and 8%. When you do a representative image with a ride along, it averages 4%. The post office published that the average click-through rate on informed delivery is between 4 and 11%. Okay? Direct Mail 2.0 has run more than 12% of all informed delivery campaigns. We have actually structured our process to not encourage representative images unless it's a flat. So when you're structuring your campaign or you're trying to go after the best strategy, this is something that you need to look at. Okay. Again, Direct Mail 2.0 statistics, the average open rate that we saw pre-COVID-19, 86%. Post or during the COVID time frame, that only dropped to 82%. Okay, so there was not a huge decline in average open rate. Average click-through rate was 7 to 8% pre-COVID. Now check this out. During the peak of COVID, average click-through rate increased to 10.59%. People were more engaged with their informed delivery. They were more interactive with their informed delivery, which was absolutely stunning. We were blown away by that click-through rate going up. And again, just to reiterate, general email marketing, not informed delivery, but if your business is sending out an email campaign, average open rates are between 15 and 22%. Average click-through rates are 0.1%. And that's prospect lists and house lists, okay? This email is coming from the United States Post Office, and it's something that this consumer has signed up for, and they are expecting it. They are checking it on a daily basis. This is why it has such a high open rate. The USPS is the most reputable brand in the United States. They just won an award for it a couple of months ago. So we need to recognize the fact that we can leverage that reputability and still get our message across to our prospect or our customer. So the way that this works with reporting is that you're going to see the number of people on your list that signed up with informed delivery. So that's the number of emails that were sent out or alerts to the application, because there is an app. We remember there's an app for that. There's an app for everything, right? So you can download the app, get your alerts via the app, or get your alerts via the email. So that the post office and informed delivery is going to report on the total number of sent. And then they're going to report on the total number of opens. Who actually opened it? Who saw it? Those are your impressions. That's your exposure on your campaign, okay? And then clicks. How many people clicked on that URL to go through to your website? Now, the beautiful thing is if you're using Google Analytics, okay, you can use a UTM for that URL so that you can track your clicks from informed delivery straight through your Google Analytics. So that is a possibility to do so that you can see full visibility on your end and not wait on reports, because the reporting is still a very manual process, which again is why it's so amazing that the John Roberts Company is offering this for you for free, because it is laborious if you try to do it yourself. So I'm all about sharing case studies and statistics. And again, I want to differentiate pre-COVID-19 success versus post-COVID-19 success. Pre-COVID-19, this particular nonprofit company did a mailing a fundraising campaign and received a $5,000 donation through their informed delivery. And it was from a previous donor that previously gave $3,000, but they were able to track it by putting that UTM URL into the informed delivery, and they could see that go all the way from click to conversion straight through their website in their Google Analytics, which was awesome. During COVID-19, another nonprofit doing a mailing, so with Direct Mail 2.0, which is 7 technologies, but informed delivery being one of them, they had 151 responses versus a non-Direct Mail 2.0 mailing, which only had 68 responses. Again, split test. So when you add additional impressions to the direct mail, that is when you are going to get an exponential increase on your overall return on investment from direct mail. And informed delivery is kind of the gateway, or as Deb said, it's digital light, because it's getting you used to integrating digital with that tangible mail piece. So what's next for informed delivery? Because obviously this is not going away, okay? I can tell you, make haste on utilizing this while it's free from the United States Post Office. The USPS will monetize this at one point, and probably when it gets to a point where there's enough saturation to justify charging for it, okay? Once they start charging for it, guess what? We're probably going to start charging for it, or charging more for it. Okay, and then what's coming down the pipeline? As Christine alluded to, they are doing a pilot right now for B2B, business to business. We love this. We want informed delivery integrated with business mail. It's just very difficult because of the turnover in businesses, right? And updating that information is pretty difficult, okay? June 2020, which they did not make this deadline, but they released a new deadline, which is actually next week, that there will be reporting via informed visibility. I don't need to go into the nuts and bolts of that too much to you. Only what this means is it's real-time reporting. It will be streamlined, and you could log in several times a day and see opens and clicks, because it's real time. It's not going to be any manual process anymore. Okay, multiple physical addresses. So if whoever you're mailing to is an absentee owner, or they have several different addresses, then they can see their mail all in one shot, all in one notification to those multiple physical addresses. And piece level campaigns. This is super, super exciting, because that means that you can change your message with the pieces. And we know how micro-targeting, personalization, and how far digital printing has come. We always want to customize our messaging or our ads to those individuals. So as soon as we can start doing those dynamic campaigns and those piece level campaigns, that really becomes something very, very special. So I thank you. I know that that was very fast, but I hope you got something out of it. Again, my name is Erica Switzer, and if you have any additional questions on informed delivery, I am happy to field those, and you can reach out to me if you would like. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Sarah.
Actually, I'm just
Great.
going to jump in for 1 second before Sarah does. Thank you, ladies, so much. There was one question which was actually pretty interesting. How is the USPS promoting this to consumers and soon to businesses? I've actually learned about it through printing people and mailing people, but how are regular consumers learning about this? And
So
then Sarah.
that's a really awesome question. What I will say is they did do a huge mass mailing for it. They did send out a mail piece, and there were multiple things on that mail piece promoting packaging, informed delivery, so on and so forth. So they did mailings. They generated a TV commercial that never aired because when they were about to air it, COVID-19 hit and everything just kind of went crazy. So I know that that's on the back burner right now, and they will most likely air it. They were advertising in airports. They were doing signage inside airports for that, but a lot of it is grassroots. So they have business alliance managers on the ground, field sales reps on the grounds, and they are telling businesses about informed delivery directly, and those businesses are telling their clients. So it's more of like a guerrilla marketing strategy, but they will be pouring more resources and budgets behind promoting this. And again, their ingenious move of automatically opting people in from the NCOA was just awesome.
Yes, yes. I do have a question for you, Erica, on the package service that was launched in June. Did that launch?
It did not.
Okay,
It did not. So yeah, packages will be implemented, but again, it's a different scanning system, and they have to implement the streamlined reporting through informed visibility first, and then they can launch the packages.
Thank you. Stay tuned,
No
Dante.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so we're going to turn this back over to Sarah. And as she has been saying in the chat, if anyone missed it, John Roberts can answer all these questions. They have postal experts there who are on top of the upcoming programs and certainly everything that's going on with informed delivery. Sarah, thanks again for inviting us. And now we're going to turn this over to you to bring it home.
I'm sorry, Sarah, I just want to interject on one more thing. I'm so sorry. So one thing that just wasn't really emphasized on, so the informed delivery postage promotion is coming up, but I do want to let all of you know that the post office does have a cutoff time for when you can set this up prior to your mailing. So if you are planning a mailing, and I know a lot of us are like, I need to get this out tomorrow by the time the project comes, right? You need to start planning now, because the John Roberts Company is going to need to do their internal process and make that post office cutoff time in order to have informed delivery implemented. They can't set this up same day. It's just not possible right now. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in the planning stages, reach out sooner rather than later. Sorry, Sarah, over to you.
Yeah, no problem. I really appreciate that. And you know, the biggest thing with partnering with a company like John Roberts and HM Graphics is the sooner you get us involved, the seamless that the whole project will go. So definitely reach out to your account executive. If you don't have one and you're new to John Roberts or HM Graphics, we're happy to get you in touch with the right people. So in closing, I just wanted to give a brief overview of who John Roberts and HM Graphics are. If you want to move to the next slide, Erica. We're in 2 locations. We're in Minneapolis and Milwaukee. Which really sets us up great for partnering and mailing and doing various things like that, because we're central. We offer a variety of print and creative solutions to really help bring our clients' brands to life. We are in various industries and tackle a lot of different things. So the John Roberts Company acquired HM Graphics in March of 2019. So it's sort of synonymous. We say the John Roberts Company is kind of our big brand. And then we have 2 brands under that, John Roberts and HM Graphics. So if it's a little confusing, that's why. Unlike most commercial printers or buying groups, we are the manufacturer of the product. And so there is no middleman, no middle woman involved. We really take full ownership of your projects and your pieces, and we're able to produce and send pieces all in one pass and in one line. I'll get into that in a little bit. But we really want to act as an extension to your team. and maintaining your brand's integrity and reputation, because we know all the things that we're helping you to produce is your brand, and we carry that very, very heavily. This is the next slide, Erica. If you want to move to our capabilities, as I mentioned, at our core, we're commercial printers. That's what we do, but that's not all that we do. We know that print is probably just one element of a whole marketing campaign. We realize that, we recognize that, we get it. So we just want to make sure that the call to actions that you have, whether it's scanning a QR code or taking to a landing page or a video, we can help assist with really all of that. We've done some really cool things with augmented reality and virtual reality that if you're interested in anything like that, we're happy to share some samples and some piecework with that. But I won't go through the whole list, but you'll see that we offer a lot of different things. Want to move to the next slide, Erica? When we talk about accreditations, this is another thing that really sets John Roberts and HM Graphics apart from other commercial printers. We take these accreditations very serious. They're required for most of our healthcare and financial clients, which is expected, right? I mean, the privacy of information is of course important, but we kind of take it to the next level and we put this and integrate this into our daily operation, whether it's new product or new services that haven't been yet released and it's intellectual property that you have. You know, we're not out to expose any of that, and we really take that very seriously. So I won't run through all the accreditations, but if you have any specific questions or something stands out, you're not familiar with what that is, definitely reach out to us and let us know, and we're happy to explain that in further detail. Next slide. So mailing specifically is the topic today. John Roberts and HM Graphics, we offer secure mailing, and we have full service and USPS resources right on site. So can't reiterate that enough. Partner with us and we'll help you do all of the heavy lifting. Everything from mail tracking to mail matching. We talked about a little bit more earlier in our call today about knowing the statistics about how many people have signed up for informed delivery in certain regions and things like that. We can actually take a mailing list and we can vet it out and see, based on that mailing list or your intended mailing list, how many people have signed up for informed delivery and shoot you back a percentage and see if it's worth the time and worth the effort. If it's free, I don't see why not, right? Even if it's 5%, 10%, let's just give it a whirl and see if you can get any extra traction out of your direct mail piece. We offer—
Get ready for all the people I'm about to send you away with that free thing, by the way.
Yeah, right. Bring it on. Bring it on. So we offer inkjet personalization. Erica touched on the power of personalization. We can put that on the pieces. You know, that's really in our wheelhouse. We do that every day. So our big giveaway, I know from our last webinar, we got a lot of people really excited about it. But for 10 people on today's call, we will be giving away a direct mail inspiration kit. And what this kit has is a variety of, if you can see this, is just a variety of different direct mail pieces that are really a blank canvas, but it gets you kind of spinning about what could I do for my next direct mail piece, and what are the different things that, you know, what kind of interaction pieces can you put in there to really, you know, the power of direct mail is keeping it in the receiver's hand as much as possible and getting your message across, and of course getting that call to action to happen. So we'll be giving away 10 of those kits, and if you aren't a lucky winner, to attend our next webinar, and we'll be giving away kits after that call as well. So with that, on behalf of our teams at John Roberts and HM Graphics, thank you so much for attending this webinar. It really means a lot to us. We hope we found it informative. I know Deb, Eric, and Christine are full of knowledge, and so we really appreciate you as well sharing that knowledge with us in our teams. So with that, I think we can—
having us.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye now.